What's happening, guys? Today's another day down here on the channel and more tractor stuff here. So the tractor has the key on all the time now, so you got to pull out the fuse right now. Me and Jack just got the fuel pump actually working. So this actually runs off of the camshaft. So I guess this is a flathead motor, Jack just said, and the camshaft is down here and it runs off of that. So I need to pull my little clamp down to here so that it doesn't leak out fuel. And we have this line submerged in gas right now, and this line feeds it there. So I'm gonna have to go to AutoZone and go get some new fuel line and run it all the way to the back there. I wanna take off the gas tank today, and I'm going to get that all situated back there. I'm gonna try to tidy up a little bit more over here, and I wanna change the oil in it today. I see the oil drain is right here. I just need to figure out where I fill it. It's probably somewhere on this side or something like that. But yeah, guys, we're going to see if we could change the oil, do the fuel line all the way to the back, pump up the front tires again, and then we should be able to run this thing just normally. I want to get a button for the start so I don't have to use a screwdriver anymore, so that I can just start it like that. And yeah, guys, slowly but surely this thing will be able to run by the push of a button, and it'll be able to cruise around. So let's go ahead and go get the fuel line, and we're going to fix up some of this other stuff here. So guys, me and Jack figured out how to get the gas tank to work properly. We ended up pulling the gas petcock out, and Jack cut the top off it and then drilled it out so it'll actually work. So now I can actually have a gas tank on the back of this thing that goes all the way up here to the front. The fuel diaphragm works and the fuel pump works now. So we should be able to start this thing up, still using the screwdriver for the time being, and we should be able to get it to run without having too many problems here. Little by little, this thing's starting to come back together, and little by little, it's still coming apart. So it doesn't have any rear fenders now. They're over there, the hood's over there. And we're gonna go ahead and try to start this thing here, guys, and then see if we can get it to run with a fuel pump on it. Later on in the video, we'll put on the exhaust pipe, and we will get the push button start on this thing. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. Okay, guys, so it's running here without the gas tank that was on the hood anymore. So seems like she's running good there. I just took her around, drove it down, drove it back. Seems to be running nice. Next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna get the exhaust on, and we're gonna try to get the push button start on. I just took a quick glance at what was going on with the push button. To stop it right now, you gotta do this. You gotta take your 25 amp fuse out. It'll turn it off there. And you gotta come over here and you gotta do this right there. Okay, guys, so we're gonna do a speed test on the tractor right now just to see how fast it goes. Jack has a pulley here that we're gonna try to put onto there after. And yeah, we're gonna see how fast she goes. It probably only goes like 4 miles an hour because it's really slow.
Probably about right.
So let's go ahead and get a speed test on her. So I came in today and look at this. I guess Jack came by yesterday night or this morning and dropped off a nice seat for the tractor. So I guess we have a seat for this thing now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this thing off, and like I said in the earlier part of this video, that I'm going to get the button on this thing so that I can hit it with a button instead of having to use the good old screwdriver to start it. So here's the two buttons I'm gonna use right here. Little toggle switch there to turn the power on, and then we got our little start button right here, just a little psh, psh, and that's how we're gonna get this thing to go. So let's take off the front cover right here. Let's go ahead and move the battery out of the way, and then we will go ahead and then get into there to see which wires we need to move around. So looking at this here, this should be pretty simple here. So I have the lead in this red wire right here for the positive right there, and I'm just going to touch the other lead here to the side of the fuse that I believe it goes to. And that's where it goes to. So now what I have to do is I have to take it off of right here, put it up to where my hole is going to be up in here for the actual little button that's going to start the tractor. And then I'm going to have to run another power wire directly to the battery. And I believe that's how it's going to work. So this is turning out to be a lot harder than I thought. And Looking at the actual tractor here, I decided that I'm probably just going to go to Tractor Supply tomorrow to just try to find the actual key start that I actually need for it. The problem that I'm having here is that when you actually look at these things here, this terminal right here is really, really rusted, and you can like move it around with your finger really easily, and it's like about to fall off. So I want to get a new one of these, and then it'll pretty much just bolt right back into where it needs to go. The other thing that needs to get put onto here is the seat, and then we need to get some other little pieces like the exhaust piece right here, and I need to get my air filter that's on the floor right there back onto the carburetor, and then we can kind of just start doing some more stuff. I want to get different tires for this thing, and I want to probably build some mud flats for the back after I took the fenders off it, and just keep working with that stuff there, guys. I'm going to change the oil later too, and just keep working on this thing. Actually, I'm going to change the oil right now. Let's change this right there, right there. I found out where the feed is because I'm stupid and it's right here. So that's where I put the oil back in. Okay guys, so the oil is draining out. I pulled my dipstick out and the thing shot out, and now I got oil on the floor, which I'm not super keen about. But the oil is draining out of it. It's almost done. I'm going to tip the thing on its side a little bit, try to get a little bit more oil out of it. The oil was super duper watery, so I tried to get as much out as I possibly can, and it's just like liquid. It's been sitting for so long. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put some Rotella in this thing, and hopefully it has enough cranking power to start it. I don't know. It's going to be some pretty thick oil in there. Maybe you'll even give us give our fuel pump here a little boost, because it kind of runs off the camshafts, and then oil gets into there and it helps it stay lubricated and stuff like that, guys. So who knows, maybe that'll work for us. But let's go ahead and finish up this oil change real quick. Okay guys, so the oil is changed now. Got the drain plug back in with some RTV on her, put some new oil, Earl and Earl dipstick there. And now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna mess with our seat here. We're gonna take the fabric off of our seat, and then we're gonna place it back up there onto our newly exposed chassis up there, so that we can, you know, just not have fenders. I'll just put something else on there later on. Maybe I'll just get these ones here to fit onto there and do something like that. So, because those ones from this tractor are way cooler than these ones. These ones are kind of just like floppy. So I want to put some good fenders onto this, since this thing's going to be gnarly. Little update on the rear axle for this thing. I'm in contact with the guy now. We're sending emails back and forth on what we're actually going to be doing here. So hopefully shortly we can get the axle in for this thing, and we can start getting the back all together there. I might also get from the guy a go-kart frame. So I might cut the go-kart frame up and get that to fit onto here for some parts of it. So let's go ahead and figure out what we got to do for the seat for this tractor here. Okay, so this is what I got mocked up for our seat here. We're probably going to end up putting in a couple plates in the back there for our seat to stand upright. And I think if I put it all the way back there, pretty much hanging off the back of the tractor, when I put a smaller pulley on this thing will be able to do monster wheelies, and we'll be able to just like do huge ones to come up. So I think having the seat all the way back there is going to be pretty sick. Like I said, we're probably going to try to get these fenders here to fit onto there. But yeah, guys, I am going to go and get the key thing in the morning, and I will figure out some other stuff as we go along. So let's go ahead and go home for tonight. So we're in Lowe's right now, and I just picked up a switch for this thing. Let's go back to the shop, see what this one actually works here. I don't know if it's going to. It's a different configuration, it looks like, than the one that came off of the tractor. And we're going to figure that out. So let's go ahead and get back to the shop now. As you can see, I have a pipe with me now. And this is going to be our new exhaust. It's actually a fence piping that you get from Lowe's. Got my key solenoid from Lowe's. So let's go ahead. The exhaust will probably be done later on or next video, because I'm gonna have to make a bunch of pie cuts and make a 90-degree bend to actually fit and stuff like that, because this is obviously a straight. So the exhaust will probably be done next time. But let's go ahead and get back to the shop and try this key at least. Okay guys, so here's our new switch. Look at how clean this one is. Very nice. And then this was our old one here. Rusty, beat up, wasn't working. Had to use a screwdriver to start it. Let's go ahead and put this one on right there. The seat is on. It's ready to do wheelies. So, painted the seat up here. I'm eventually gonna put this fabric right here. This is just a floor mat from a car. I'm gonna get that to fit into there. I used 2 camshaft sprockets to hold it up in the back there. It's pretty floppy D in the back here, but we're going. It's good, it's fine. Welded it all up. It's very sturdy, not really. But that is all set up there. The problem I'm having with this key switch here is that the ground is on this side instead of on this side now. And probably a couple of the other pins are not in the right order. So I'm gonna have to figure out what all these little signs on here mean. This is definitely ground. This one I'm guessing maybe lights, switch, main, and then back. I don't really know. But I'm gonna have to find out the configuration for this one and then the configuration for this one, and then we're going to have to switch some wires around and get it to work right. And then the key will actually start. As soon as I tried to start it, popped the 25 amp fuse, so I put a 40 amp in there and it still doesn't do anything. So I'm definitely gonna have to switch some wires around on there, guys. But I know I said I was gonna have the exhaust on it, but that's about it for this video though, guys. I do have the pipe. I'll get that thing on this afternoon, and I'll try to figure out this key switch here, and then hopefully I could just put those couple things on, throw some fenders back over this here and weld those onto here, and then yeah, get some two front tires, and we'll just be popping wheelies, guys. I hope that I could get this thing running pretty good in the next video for you guys. And yeah, that's about it though, guys. If you guys like the video, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and hit that notification. If you're not notified, get notified. I'll see you guys in the next one.